There we go. All right, we're in business. There we are. Let's make it happen. Looking forward to it, man. Perfect. Let's hit the ground running.
Oh, sorry, I had to unmute my mic really quickly. All right, so for those of you that don't know, this is the BitCult Morning Show taking place in the afternoon today. We're here joined with Sir Rhett on BitClout. Rhett, how are you doing today?
Hey, Connor, thank you so much for having me. I'm doing great. Really looking forward to discussing hype tickets with you.
Yeah, man, I'm so excited. I can't wait to hear more. But first, we got to get through yesterday's bits curated to you over by the team at Bits Today. So, to start off, yesterday coins bought were around $960,000, but coins sold was around $3.3 million. So, it's a little bit scary to see that much money moving around on the platform. Specifically, whatever the difference between 3.3 million and $960,000 is, not being reinvested back into creators, most likely either being held in those wallets or, being taken off the platform. So that's a little scary to see. What was once exponential growth is now, and coin buying coins was, all the hype is now, not necessarily the case. I think we can see by those numbers. So that's definitely something interesting to see. Rhett, I don't know if you have anything you want to add to that or if you knew
I
anything
think
about
it's
that.
interesting. Yeah, it's concerning to see the things happening in the rug pull category and how problematic that is, and how much money is going off versus going on the platform. But one thing I think is also interesting is going into other categories a little bit of the news is the fact that the founders reward has changed. So if we think about that, I have this theory on the idea of us not owning our own coins and hypothetically that preventing rug pulls, because if you don't own your own coin, you're not really able to rug pull anybody. So the only concerns that people need to have then is if somebody owns a massive majority stake in a coin, rather than the idea that anybody can rug pull at any time.
Yeah, and I think that's a really interesting idea too, because a lot of people are talking about, they say like, oh, if you don't hold any of your own coin, it means that you don't believe in yourself. And I don't think that that's the case at all. And I definitely agree with you. I think that if we were to have, if people didn't own their own coin and, you didn't have some of these big accounts coming in and taking up a bunch of coin and then rugging investors, it would look a lot better. And so I think that if the norm was, not necessarily to own your own coin, that might definitely help, kind of like what you were saying, Rhett. Next up, a UX update on BitClout. Now you can discern whether a creator has purchased or received creator coins on the actual profile of the creator. So there will be a little tag underneath the purchase or underneath the creator amount of creator coin held that'll say either purchased or received. And then also in your wallet you can now split between two sections, those being creator coins that you purchased and creator coins that were sent to you or received through diamonds or just gifts. And finally, next up, on Friday night, BitClout witnessed one of the biggest rug pulls yet. We're not talking about rug burnt elbows here. This one cut to the core of the clout consciousness. In a highly organized scam, after a final 0% founder reward dump, at Charcoin, which ensnared a number of notable BitClout legends, ultimately netted the rug artisans north of 200,000 in total. The specifics have been explored and covered in depth by committed clouders like Fungibles. I don't think that we or Bits Today per se wants to get into the details of exactly what happened, as to not push any other scammers farther or give them any ideas. So definitely keep in mind that when if you're talking about the instance or what they did there. But yeah, that I heard all about Charcoin. That was very devastating to see, and it's scary how if someone just puts in a little bit of effort, to make something look legitimate, how easily it looks like they can scam people for $200,000 in total. That's a lot of money. So we definitely need something in place, Rhett, like you were talking about, so that maybe we can prevent this from happening in the future, because there's no way that BitClout is going to be legitimized unless, these scams stop happening, because, people are going to be very hesitant to put in their money if there's the potential for someone to run off with $200,000 and, you lose everything that you invested. So yeah, Rhett, I don't know if you heard about the Charcoin. I think that you did. I think that you were in that
I did
clubhouse.
hear
Yeah.
about that. Yeah, and it is concerning to see that that's happening on the platform. So I think again that kind of goes into the hypothetical strategy of if we didn't own our own coins, would anyone be able to rug pull in the first place? I think it's an interesting concept for sure. But yeah, going back to one of your other points about the recent UI UX change, like if they let you know who the purchaser is, I think that's extremely advantageous because people initially would be sending out chunks of their coin to credible creators on the platform to basically make it appear as if they had their cosign. But that's not going to be an effective marketing strategy going forward. And I think that's going to be great. And then as for hype tickets, I think it's going to be very helpful for us to know who bought a ticket versus who was sent a ticket. So it lets us know who's really invested in actually supporting creators.
Yeah, definitely. Especially for, what you're doing with hype, which we're going to get into in just a second. I can definitely imagine that this, being able to see who purchased your coin and who received your coin, because otherwise, I could buy $100 worth of, hyped coin, and the way that you've structured it, it's 90% founders reward, but so you pay for your own ticket. But let's say I buy $100 worth and then I get $10 back, then I could just hypothetically, couldn't I just send that money to other people and then claim that they got the ticket? But now with the UI UX change, that's impossible. So that's fantastic news. All right, well,
Absolutely.
yeah, absolutely, definitely. Well, up next, we have an interview with Rhett. So Rhett is Sir Rhett on BitClout. And Rhett, I'm just going to go right into it. So, not only are you doing huge things on BitClout, which we will get to in a minute, but your resume outside of BitClout is, very extensive. And so can you talk a little bit about your background and your life outside of BitClout?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So basically, I kind of started in the apparel industry when I was very young. I launched my first business at 14 years old. And moved into the talent management side of things and started doing things on that side and doing marketing for my mother's talent management agency. I've gotten to then work with Waka Flocka licensing for the apparel company, and I've gotten to sponsor Team USA and do events with them. So it's been a very interesting experience on the road to where we are now with BitClout, and it's kind of very synergistic. So a lot of the work I've done has been about getting artists paid and supporting creators, and it really went from like traditional talent management to getting them licensing deals to endorsement deals and things of that nature to uh, the work I'm doing now as a community advocate for Clout members and the work I'm doing as the VP of Business Development and Partnerships for Hype Tickets. So, my focus has always been on supporting the creator and supporting those that put in that work and that are really trying to create value for people. So, I want to help them get the most out of the value that they create and earn from the work that they're doing. Because I think that, a lot of this talent goes underrated and undersupported. So, I've always been focused on that. I am currently doing talent management still with my mother's company, Mount Music and Media Agency. And I'm a big believer in the power of influence and the power of attention. So I run my own influencer marketing consultancy, Bitfluence. And I am also writing a book about my experiences in the influencer marketing field and some of the skills I've learned along the way called The Rise and Fall of the Influencer. So, it all kind of goes very hand in hand and it's very synergistic. So while it kind of looks like I'm all over the place, I'm all over the place in one key category, and that's getting artists paid.
Exactly, exactly. You've definitely found your niche, and that's fantastic. And for the viewers out there who might not know what influencer marketing is, or who just aren't in that space, can you explain a little bit, kind of like what you do specifically with influencer marketing?
Yeah, sure. So, part of the reason I got involved in BitClout in the first place is I believe there's a lot of synergies between cryptocurrency and influencer marketing. Influencer marketing really is effectively building your personal brand, and I think that's one of the most valuable assets anyone can have, and it helps you monetize any venture you build going forward because having a personal brand helps you earn more money and being involved in the cryptocurrency space, that helps you monetize, multiply your money. So all of a sudden, you have this social media platform, BitClout, which is allowing you to do both in one, and it's very exciting to see. And I knew I had to be part of it. So it's really interesting. And in the influencer marketing world, you really do want to capitalize off attention, and you want to build that audience for yourself because as you move forward, if you have a set of fans who are loyal to you, they will support you no matter what you do. And it's extremely important to build that because then you have that value and you are able to work with those people because your network is your net worth. And I know it's like a catchy little saying, but at the same time, that's exactly how you create new opportunities for yourself through partnerships. And it's exactly how you monetize through your various businesses. People want to support the person, not the product.
Yeah, I think that you completely hit the nail on the head, and like you were saying, it's your network is your net worth, and I think that is the truest it's ever been with BitClout. These connections can literally result in real world money, which is the first of its kind. Really, you have typical sponsorships and all that, but suddenly now you have the ability to invest in other people. It's very new, but very interesting, and it's going to be interesting to see what else other people do with it. But speaking of BitClout, Rhett, like you were saying, you have a ton of stuff going on. Specifically in the niche of influencer marketing and all of that. But I was curious. You mentioned Hyped, and I know that Hyped is your new marketing ticketing tool built on BitClout, but can you please explain a little bit more about Hyped and kind of what you're doing there? Because it sounds super fascinating.
Absolutely. Yeah. So Hype Tickets is the first ever proof of stake ticketing platform using social tokens. And it really is revolutionizing the game of music events, business events, philanthropy events, and any form of like live event. We are just absolutely changing the game on. So I am fortunate enough to be part of the team as the VP of Business Development and Partnerships. And it was invented by the GoDo company. They built it out and they've done a fantastic job with that. They're the ones who built out the proof of stake paywall that we use for Clout members as well. So it's been very exciting there. Josh Hansen is the CEO and he's been great to work with. And, you know, the vision is just so phenomenal because it puts the power back in the hands of the people. So it allows any creator of any scale to hold any live event and they can monetize directly through social tokens. So effectively, what they'll do is they'll set a brand new coin up using a high founders reward, and they will schedule the event with the Hype Tickets team, and the Hype Tickets team will put together the sub URL with the embed link. So then they do, a set period of time for promotion. They host this event, and everyone who wants to support this artist will come out and do so. And it makes it significantly easier for anybody with an audience to get paid and to monetize their audience and leverage that. Because in the past, what you really were stuck with was just Ticketmaster want you, just Live Nation think that your audience is worthwhile. There were gatekeepers, and you don't want to be at the mercy of gatekeepers. You want anyone with talent to be able to hold a live event and make money from it. And that's what we're providing at Hype Tickets.
Definitely, definitely. And not only that, but I mean, so I guess my next question for you is, will the payment structure, you said that they set the high founders reward. So are you saying that the payment structure will, be similar to what Hyped has right now on their BitClout? And then can you explain a little bit about, your decision in making your founders reward so high and what that means?
Absolutely. So basically, when you look at the payment structure of these events, each individual event gets a separate social token because you want that event to be memorialized on the blockchain forever. And it's really going to be an iconic thing where any event that happens, people are now not going to be able to fake that they were at an event or claim that they had been to something. It's going to be on the blockchain, and there's going to be proof. And it's very exciting that people now have their tokens and their tickets that live forever. Your ticket is there on that social token. So you go there, you look at that list. It's like, hey, I was there. I was part of this event. I helped make history. And it's very interesting and exciting. So it follows the same model as the current hype token that is mainly being used as a proof of concept right now. And the proof of concept is for the event we have going on tonight in 4 hours. So that's going to be a concert with Yellow Red Sparks and DJ Mercury performing, and they're going to be really giving us some amazing vibes between the folk rock music that Yellow Red Sparks does and the house and dubstep music that DJ Mercury does. So that's the coin is currently supporting that event. And speaking of the High Founders Award that you mentioned, that is very strategic and very intentional. We did not set it as high as possible because you want everyone's name to still appear on the list. So it's at 90, not 99. But at the same time, what you want is for people to be paying the artist directly. So all those funds primarily are going towards the artists, and they're going to support the talent that is providing all this value to people. And additionally, people have to view this as not a investment, but as a transaction. They are buying in to be part of this event, and they want that money to go towards the talent and support them. So it's extremely important that we have this High Founders Award because we want people to be paying to give these opportunities to these artists to monetize. So we want people to support that, and that's a big part of our focus. So I think it makes a lot of sense, and we've seen a lot of positivity around it so far because people know that they're getting something for their money and they're getting value for the amount that they're putting in. So they want that transaction to go through, and they want to give that money to those artists. So, we have a High Founders Award because it helps everybody around.
No, definitely. And that's a, fantastic explanation and fantastic use case, I think, for the Founders Reward. I think a lot of people right now on the BitClout platform are maybe not scrambling, but scratching their heads, kind of figuring out how can I utilize my Founders Reward to incentivize my long-term holders and also, incentivize others to invest in me. How and what can I do with my Founders Reward? Can I pay dividends? Can, I do whatever? And I think that what you all have found is a fantastic way to utilize the Founders Reward by, like you said, giving that money right to the artists. And I imagine that, Hyped probably takes, since you're doing the marketing, you take a small percentage of that coin. But, it's nice to know that the majority of that money is going to the artists. And, that's not necessarily something that you can say when you're streaming on Spotify or, even when you're buying concert tickets. A lot of that money goes to the venue and it goes to Ticketmaster. And when you're streaming on Spotify, the artists make a quarter of a cent. And so, this I think is a fantastic way for, to incentivize others to help promote artists and, to support artists. Overall, I just think what you're doing is fantastic. So kudos to you, Rhett, and the entire team.
Thank you. Yeah, it really is exciting. And in terms of use cases, this is one of the most innovative use cases for all of cryptocurrency so far, because a lot of cryptocurrency's focus has been just on the financial sector. So we're bringing a lot of those applications into the world of the creator economy. And we're very excited to be participating in that. And I think it's going to be amazing that we are offering such a thing. And, it really is important. And like you said, it is going towards supporting the creators and the artists. But in addition, we really want to support the whole community. So we have offered referral codes with rewards that come with that. So it incentivizes others to promote the events too and to drive traffic to the new events as they come up. So every confirmation code that you use when you go through the proof of stake paywall also doubles as a referral code. So anyone who is attending the event themselves now has an incentive to make sure that other people are attending the event too and using their link to do so. So we really are trying to give back to everyone within this model.
Wow. Yeah, that is such a cool idea. Definitely. I bet that took, a lot of time to figure out and just to get that right. So that is really, really cool. And so I wanted to speak a little bit, before we end today, on you're writing a book called The Rise and Fall of the Influencer. I mean, Rhett, have you ever written a book before?
I have not written a book before, and I must admit, it is a long and tedious process. But I think that I want to give as much value as I can towards the community, and part of that is sharing that knowledge in a long form format. So that's part of why I decided to write the book in the first place. And in relation to Hyped, I actually will be doing the launch party for the book as soon as I get that finished. I'll schedule that out, and I'll be using Hype to do that. So that'll be extremely exciting. But as I was mentioning before, it seems like all the ventures I work on tend to be very symbiotic. So it's always very intentional. And I wanted to write the book to give back to creators. I wanted to get involved in Hype to give back to creators, and now I'm able to use one to do the other. So
That's fantastic. And so you're, literally doing exactly what you want with all the projects that you want. It sounds like you are also having fun doing it. You enjoy what you do. So that is, I mean, really, it sounds like you're living the best life. So that is awesome. I had one last question about Hyped, or maybe, more of a statement, but just another thing that I thought of that I imagine the team has thought of, but I want to point out is that, by utilizing Hyped, being built on BitClout and being exclusive to BitClout right now, you can not only expand the community by offering. Well, I guess what I'm saying is what you could do is you could offer these events, but you have to buy your ticket through BitClout. You have to buy the ticket through the social token, the profile that whatever the artist created for that event. And so that incentivizes the regular schmo who's never heard of BitClout before but loves Clay Perry music. He says, oh my god, I love Clay Perry, I want to attend this event, I'm going to make a BitClout account. And suddenly they're exposed to BitClout, they become part of the community, maybe they stay, maybe they don't. But so what you're also doing is effectively expanding our community.
Oh, 100%, and I think that's part of what's so amazing with this is we're building a BitClout first company, and we want to make sure that all those who participate are actively giving back to the community and are people who create value. So we really are in the midst of supporting anyone who uh, supports others. So it really is a give to get situation, and we want to help make sure that other people join BitClout, and we want to make sure that people on BitClout are able to host events using Hyped, and we want to make sure that those who provide are getting paid for what they provide. So that's really exciting. Before we wrap up, can we segue to the giveaway?
Of course, let's hear it.
So yeah, all right, very excited to discuss this with everybody. As part of the Hyped Tickets promotion, I have decided to do a giveaway of two Surrect coins, especially because of the model of the new Founders Award. So I think that it's going to be very exciting to promote that to the community, and I appreciate everyone who participated because it is so important to be able to promote events like this and to gain as much attention as possible. So to implement this as part of the viral marketing campaign is very exciting. For context, I was picking them just out of a hat. So it's totally anonymous and randomized. So it's not like I picked with any bias. It was done on a random scale. But without further ado, there were two winners. I'm giving away two Surrect coins, one to each person. And the winners were at Acon with AIKON on BitClout and at Michael Lee Rowland. So those are the two winners of the Surrect coin. Thank you guys so much for promoting the event and for helping us drive traffic to the first ever BitClout ticketed concert.
Wow, yeah, congrats to Akon and Michael Lee Rowland. That is awesome. And you get to win Sir Rhett coins, which is even better. Especially with everything that Red is doing, I can imagine that that is probably a fantastic gift that is just going to keep on giving. So congratulations to everyone. Rhett, congratulations to you, and Hyped, congratulations to the entire team. I'm, super excited to hear about this event tonight and to see what happens. So yeah, thank you, Rhett, so much for coming on to the BitCult Morning Show. Even though it's in the afternoon today, still really, really appreciate it. Yeah.
Thank
So
you so much for having me. Yeah, very excited to have been able to come here and talk about the various things I'm doing and about hype tickets. I look forward to seeing everybody tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or 5 p.m. Pacific. So, yeah, I'm so excited, and I just think it's going to be amazing. Let's get hyped, guys.
yeah, let's get hyped, guys. All right. So thank you so much, Rhett. Thank you, everyone, for joining in. This was the BitCult Morning Show. Tune in again tomorrow to listen to an interview with Crypto Barbie on Tuesday's edition of the BitCult Morning Show, coming at you at 9:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thank you, and have a great rest of your day.